And firstly, there's been a lot of chat the last couple of days about the allocation of tickets for the League Cup final. What's your
No,
take on
you're
it
not going to
all?
ask me about tickets allocation. We're playing Leverkusen in a big game tomorrow night. Don't waste the opportunity. I have no desire or any inkling to get involved in ticket allocation. That's not my brief. Let's. I'll let you pass on that. I'll give you a freebie. Give me another question.
What kind of test are you expecting tomorrow night then against Leverkusen? Obviously, a tough in the last time.
Yeah, good challenge. Good side. They've sort of picked up their form in the league and going well. And we obviously played against them already. And, the quality of side we're facing, I think, for all intents and purposes, they're a Champions League team. And super challenge for us away from home. Obviously, also consequences on the result. So, we just got to go there prepared to face a good opponent. I thought when we played them here, we did well in certain aspects of our game, but we also realised that mistakes are going to get punished. You're not going to get away with not being totally focused and concentrated for the whole game, and that's going to be the case tomorrow night. I'm sure we're going to have some bright spots. I still believe we can take the game to them, but there's going to be moments where, we're just going to make sure our concentration levels are at the highest possible level, because they will punish you.
Unusual for Celtic to be sort of underdogs in an away match in many ways. Is this similar to the test you had in Betis?
A little bit. I mean, it's I guess from our perspective, it's every game. I think every time you play away from home in Europe, it's a challenge. I mean, just you look at historically, it's not an easy to win in Europe, irrespective of the competition you're in. Away from home, you're facing different conditions. You're facing different types of opposition. So the challenge is always the same. I mean, whether you're underdogs or favourites, I don't think there'd be many times that teams go into an away European fixture being favourites. I think there's always a challenge there when you play away from home. And as I said before, that's our main sort of priority tomorrow, to go there really determined to make an impact, but also understanding that if we're not on it for the whole game against a quality team, then we're going to pay a price.
How are you team news-wise in terms of injuries? Anybody returning or anybody out?
From the weekend, everyone's good. They got through it okay. Walshy trained. He got a whack on his cheekbone, but he's fine. Everyone else got through it okay. No one really coming back. Tommy's close, but we'll probably leave him for the weekend. Carl's probably a couple of days behind him, so both very close. But again, we've got a lot of games coming up, so we just got to be careful. And Giacomarco's still having a little bit of an issue with his knee, so we're just going to get it checked out just to see what the actual problem is. I don't expect anything longer term, but again, he'll be out as well. So pretty much, as is from the weekend.
And the Leverkusen players have said in the press that they're wary of your team's attacking style, and that's, despite the score last time. Is that the kind of reputation you want to precede your team?
Look, I mean, you don't play the game and try and get sort of plaudits from oppositions. I'd rather they hated playing against us. But as I said before, we showed some really positive things in that game against a very good team, and we were unsettled at the time. I think Kyogo was his first game back after being a month out, and Cal had been out for 3 or 4 weeks. It's his first game back, and we were still very unsettled. But at the same time, we also found out pretty brutally that mistakes get punished, and that was as much the main focus coming out of that game. We always back ourselves that we can make an impact on any opponent, and that's the kind of team we want to be, spot on. But at the same time, we don't want to be a team that particularly here at home would make mistakes that get punished like that. So there was lessons on both sides, and for us, we'll take the game to them tomorrow. I expect us to cause them some problems, but we've just got to make sure that we're on it for the whole 90 minutes.
And Ange, I can't let you go without asking about the Christmas ad. Absolutely sensational Christmas jumper action from you. And I feel like we've got to take this opportunity to pay homage to the unlikely star of the show in Gavin Strachan and his laptop.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. He's taken star billing, and it's a very important part of our setup here, and that's all I'll say about it.
And you describe it as a good challenge. I'm wondering if actually this is the hardest match that you'll have had as Celtic manager, a good German team away from home in a key match.
Yeah, I guess in the context of like the situation, yeah, you're probably right, because there's consequences in the result. I mean, I don't think, Betis away or even Ferencváros away were lesser challenges, but at both those times there was sort of different outcomes we were looking at, but the level of the opposition, the consequences of the result, being away from home, as you said, it's going to be, I say a good challenge. I mean, you can use other adjectives to describe it, but for us, what's important is we want to go there and not miss the opportunity to measure ourselves. We want to be playing at this level consistently. We want to be qualifying for these tournaments and for the knockout stages, and we've got to measure ourselves against the best. I've always felt the best way to measure yourself is to go out there and play your football. You can go out there and sort of shy away from the contest and try and survive, but I don't think you learn anything that way, even if you do get a result. So, as I said, for us tomorrow, it's about as much, finding out about ourselves and where we measure up against the very best in our competition, and not leave that ground with any uncertainty about where we're at.
I guess there would be maybe a wee bit of history up for grabs as well, because no Celtic manager has won in Germany, I don't think.
Yeah, look, there's always some significance to it. I think more importantly for me, it's just about continuing our growth as a team. I know where we're at, I know what we need to do, and we've still got a long way to go to become the team. Like I said, I want us to be going into these games really sure of ourselves that we belong at this level, and that every year we're going to make an impact on this level. We're not quite there yet, because the evidence shows that. So tomorrow's an opportunity for us to grow again as a team, and that's my main focus. Like I said, we need a result to keep our chances alive, and that's what we want to do. But I really want us to measure ourselves as well. We're in a decent form. We're settled as a team. Yeah, we've got a couple of absences injury-wise, but we're feeling good about things. So let's go out there and test ourselves.
And I just wonder, obviously after the international break, the boys sort of kicked on and continued that momentum against St Johnstone. Is that a factor going into a game like this, where you do have that confidence behind you when you are asking to play out against a good team, that you have the results behind you to back it up?
Look, it helps. It helps with the players' belief and confidence. But again, I've been really sort of consistent in saying that we can't be affected by, what our current situation is. We've got to approach every game the same way. We can't feel better about ourselves and want to play our football just because we won or we're on a good form, or because inevitably we're going to hit a patch where maybe we drop a game, we lose a game, and our approach can't change. We can't go into the game following that, being hesitant. So even when we're going through our rough patch, we came to training every day trying to be the best team we can be, play our football. We approached every game the same. And, I think the key to growth and being consistent is to not get too carried away either way, whether it's things are going well or not well, in terms of your approach. As I said, obviously winning helps people feel good, but I'll be disappointed if, we go out there and play well tomorrow just because we're in a good vein of form. I want us to go out there and play well tomorrow, because that's the team we want to be, irrespective of what's happened beforehand.
In terms of the context of the group, in terms of qualification as well, obviously if results don't go your way tomorrow, it could, the Conference League is secured, but Europa League could be out of the question. How important is it to concentrate on your game and not what's going on elsewhere to get that result?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, what the last two results have given us is that the ability to control our own destiny. Not that that's easy, because obviously, like I said, we're playing a very difficult opponent tomorrow night, but we don't have to worry about the other result at the moment. We can look at the permutations and combinations after the game, depending on how our game's gone. But right now, you can't afford to think about anything but the fact that you're playing against a really good side, and that's where our focus is, irrespective of how it shapes up in the group. You've got to go out there expecting a massive challenge tomorrow, and like I said, hopefully we go in there looking to measure ourselves against the best, and that's what I'll be looking at.
And do you feel you're players can learn a lot from coming up against a quality side like Bayer Leverkusen?
Only if we go out there and play our football, mate. You know, like I said, you can learn absolutely nothing if you go out there and shy away from it. You know, we can go out there and sort of be conservative and try and hold on and try and survive, and I think you learn nothing. All you learn is that really you're inferior and you don't believe you can be any better. The only way we'll learn something tomorrow night is if we go out there and take the game to them. That's when we'll learn, and that may be a painful lesson for us all, but ultimately it's a better way to find out. It may not be. It may be something that shows that you're making a hell of a lot of progress. I'd rather go out there tomorrow and find out about ourselves, and like I said, just go out there and try and survive. It's just not the way you develop or grow as a person, as a team. If we want to get to these levels, we've got to use these games as a measuring stick, and only one way to get measured is that to go out there and put yourself out there.
You talked about the errors leading to goals in the last game against Bayer Leverkusen. Is there much as a group of staff you can do to try and eradicate that, or does that type of thing just come down to the players and their concentration?
No, you can certainly help, because it's not just about sort of, you know, I'm not talking about people slipping over or people making a bad pass or miscontrolling the ball. I'm talking about how you react to those things, because those things are going to happen. And, you know, even conceding a goal, how you react to that, you know, and we didn't react well to that, because even at 0-0, we conceded a goal, it's 1-0, but we were well in the game at that time, but we lost our composure. So it's more, that's where we can help the team. It's not about eradicating individual errors, because they're human beings. They're going to make mistakes tomorrow night. It's how you immediately react to the mistake that happens and what you do consequently after that. And that's what I didn't think we dealt with, you know, well on that night, in that the context of the game, even at 1-0 down, we were still in it. Even at 2-0 down, we had some good chances, but it felt like, you know, we lost our composure at times because we just let the errors or the goals compound into everything else we were doing. So from that perspective, we can help the players by showing them that you're in the game. You know, there's no need to lose our composure, no need to change what we're doing. What you need to do is concentrate and make sure that you're focused every minute, rather than thinking, oh, well, we've just conceded a goal and somehow the task has become insurmountable.
Hi, Ange. Neil Beaton has put in a number of solid performances in the holding midfield role recently, including Saturday's League Cup semi-final. How important will his calmness on the ball and football IQ be tomorrow night against a high-quality opponent in Leverkusen?
Yeah, he's been really good. Obviously, when we lost Tommy, that midfield three was working well for us, but we hadn't really given a rest to any of them, and unfortunately Tommy was the one that sort of paid a price for that, and it was then important that whoever we brought in sort of continued that in the same vein. And as you said, I think he's a very, very intelligent footballer. He's an experienced player. He captains his country. I know he's played at the back predominantly in recent years, but he has the attributes and the calmness to play that role for us. And Cal can play further up in that shape, so he'll be important. But the key about tomorrow night is that there's not one individual that's going to change the game for us. We need all of our players, the ones who are starting and the ones who are coming off the bench, to put in a massive effort if we're going to achieve something, because it's not going to be an individual battle that's going to win us the contest tomorrow.
And in a passage of your book that's been shared about recently, you talk about manipulating environments in games. Would you say that this comes in the form of pressing? And do you think that Kyogo's constant pressure on Zander Clark on Saturday was a good example of the ideology coming to fruition?
Yeah, look, that's exactly right. Is that and people kind of miss it because they talk about sort of the way we play our football and how aggressive attacking we are. But when I talk about concentration and focus, that's the things I'm talking about. That irrespective of the scoreline or irrespective of whether they're creating a lot, we keep doing those things that maybe go unnoticed consistently, so that we're constantly putting the opposition under pressure. And as you said, that goal came about because after 79 minutes, or whatever time it was, Kyogo was still pressing their goalkeeper. We're still squeezing up as a team, and it may not have worked for the previous 6 times, but in the 7th time we're there, and like I said, tomorrow that's going to be a big part of it, is that we've got to do those little things and be disciplined about how we do them for the whole 90 minutes, not sort of shy away from because maybe things haven't gone well. So it's a key component of the team we want to be, and we're showing elements of consistency, but I still think we've got a way to go.
And just finally, do you expect Leverkusen to approach the game the same way they did at Celtic Park a couple of months ago? And what impressed you the most about the German side that night?
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a great change in their approach. Watching them even in the Bundesliga, it's how they set up. They're a super team in transition. They've got speed with and without the ball. They're pretty aggressive in the way they're able to sort of take the game to the opposition and break lines. So I don't think that'll be any different for us. And this game, it's what they're good at. Obviously, being at home, they'll have the crowd and sort of the conditions to suit them, so that they'll feel even sort of probably more impetus to try and impose their game on us. So they're the things we know are coming at us. It's how we, like I said, we repel and how we can then maybe get them to adjust what they do by imposing ourselves on the game. So it's a great challenge for us. As I said, one I think we're all looking forward to. Should be a great contest. I think I'll be surprised if there aren't goals in the game, put it that way.